Welcome to the remote quarantined Locket Podcast. I guess let's start this thing. Brad, how have you been surviving this quarantine?
Playing a lot of Animal Crossing, that Haley bought, and writing music. I don't know. I don't know like what day of the week it is most of the time, and I've noticed my girlfriend or her family members will like ask me something that I thought happened maybe like 2 days ago, and it happened like that afternoon, or vice versa. Like I don't know. It's weird. I try to go outside once a day, but the last few days I haven't done that at all.
Yeah, that has been like the same experience. It's like there's like a weird like almost memory loss, or like everything just kind of blends into each other when you don't have anything to do. What about Logan? What about you?
Lots of walks, lots of reading, lots of Netflix watching.
Apple eating.
Lots of apple eating.
Yeah,
I don't know. Pretty much what I would do anyways, even if there was no virus. So business as usual for me.
Nice, man.
Preparing your whole life for a moment like this.
Yeah.
Travis, what about you? Oh, we can't hear you, Travis.
Oh,
Travis, there's no audio here. Go to the top left to the Zoom thing, and then go to preferences, and just make sure that you're.
Hello.
Yeah,
there he is.
There you
Okay,
go.
cool. I haven't been doing shit. Like, I sit around. My laptop busted, so I didn't have anything to do on that. Couldn't write any music or whatever and record it. And so I was just hanging out. It took forever to get my bass back from Brad, so I couldn't practice bass.
I got it though. We traded a futon
frame
for a bass.
Nice.
Hey man, that's seen some things. That helped record the album, so
it's true.
The futon's definitely seen some things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. The main thing was I've been going for a lot more walks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Other than that, same old.
Are you still working, Travis?
Yeah, I had self-isolated for like 2 weeks when that stuff came around because of like symptoms and stuff.
Yeah.
But I went back to work for 2 shifts, and it's been kind of like nuts. Like everyone's super paranoid.
Yeah.
And, like, my job is like being within a couple of feet of people and talking to them and interacting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, stay at a couple meters distance from everybody. You can't really do anything. So you're just kind of, being a body there at this point, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But you still have to be there, and like the spirits are pretty good still, which is nice. Everyone's kind of trying to keep busy, but like the streets are dead in Toronto. All of downtown, it's crazy. I was walking down Yonge Street, and Yonge and Dundas was like a ghost town. When it's normally
I was looking at pictures
full of thousands of people a day.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny. My if anyone is watching, I don't know who's going to end up watching this, but for context, my stepmom is a nurse at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, which is like the biggest pediatric hospital in Canada, I think. And like the steps and like measures she has to go through just to like have an 8-hour shift at work.
Yeah.
It's so insane. So I feel like she's probably going to be living out of my stepbrother's condo right downtown, so she's not like going back and forth between the house, transferring whatever might be lingering. But
is she like keeping isolated from the rest of your family, or?
She was. I don't know like what the deal is, because I think my stepbrothers are like staying at the house, and my dad left for Colombia right before this happened, and like had to fly home after like 48 hours. So he was actually isolating in Toronto out of a condo for like 2 weeks or something like that. I don't know what's happening at their house though. It's weird. Like you mentioned going for walks. Whenever my girlfriend and I have been going for walks and we pass like other people on the street, it's like obviously not apparent to them that we live together. So they're probably looking at us like, what the fuck are these assholes doing?
Just going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. But
Have you noticed that people are saying hi more, like on walks?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a girl the other day that was jogging, and she was just like, she was giving it. She did not have any energy left, and she made an effort of like saying hi.
Yeah. It's funny. There's this like
Nice.
in this togetherness type of mentality,
totally.
but at the same time, it's like everyone is also like subconsciously the enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sucks. Like
it's like we're all together, but like don't come anywhere near me.
Yeah, which really sucks when you want to like see a dog that walks by your house and you want to pet it, but you can't. So
do we have a guest?
Kind of like, hey, hold on a sec. I'm just on the chat right now.
Nice.
Okay, I'm not even.
So Corey, how's I don't know like what Ottawa would be like compared to closer to Toronto.
Canada.
Where there's like, way more people. Is it the same sort of thing?
Yeah, my dad actually made a video where he like rode around on his motorcycle, and like
they were gonna say where you like flew a drone over the
Yeah,
well, that's what so he went on his motorcycle because he lives like just outside, like 20 minutes driving outside of downtown, and basically went to like a bunch of like the big bus station where he lives, and then he went like downtown to Parliament and to like all these places.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like a ghost town. They're like, you'll see the odd vehicle on the road, but like, yeah, it looks like a ghost town. And because we live close to the province of Quebec, like you're not allowed to cross the bridge unless you have an essential reason to do so. So I didn't really I wasn't fully aware of what it was like outside, because I've just been like doing the same lap every single day trying to get a little bit of sunlight. But it seems to be like pretty shut down. What's really interesting is Brazil. Their president is like denying it.
Of course he is.
Classic.
Yeah. Or don't take what I'm saying word for word, look it up. But like from what I understood, it's like he's just like downplaying.
Just like undermining the severity of it.
Exactly. And he's more concerned about the economy than he is about human lives.
Yeah.
So they're opening everything up on Monday.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what's funny? Like, just to bring this back to band world, I was talking to our old manager, just like having a catch up because he manages my other band for people that are watching or listening to this. And he was saying like, we got to make the call with all my bands. We're probably just going to like not play shows till 2021 because like, let's be realistic about it. And even then, I'm seeing so many people reschedule shows or like segments of tours for like 2 months from now. Like
I know, I'm seeing like July and stuff.
Yeah, like
what's the point?
That is
really optimistic.
Gonna happen at all. Even like early 2021, I think Brockhampton moved dates to then in the UK. It's like in retrospect, that's not a very long time at all. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I just had a conversation with Joe, our manager, and he's like. He's a connected guy. He has a lot of friends that either work at different labels or booking agents or managers. So he kind of sees or talks to the people that, make the pieces move in the industry. And I asked him, like, is there any timeline on when he sees live music resuming? And he's like, no, it's day to day. So he said basically the same thing, where he's seen tours were scheduled as early as like August. But once it starts, once it's like, I guess, socially okay and permitted, and I guess deemed safe, it's going to take at least like half a year for it to like ramp up and, people coming out of my crisis.
In my head, it's like, okay, they're like in 6 months, it might be okay to do it, but like that might be at one show, something might happen where like, whatever gets transferred, and then it just prolongs the whole cycle. So I'm like, when that Code Orange thing happened, I started thinking like, this should have already been happening because it's cool. But I feel like that's just gonna have to be how things are for the long, and like getting more creative with it too. Like I know Vice and Noisy are doing a thing with a bunch of bands doing like a festival, like a bunch of people have been doing, like there's that Minecraft thing.
Yeah,
that's happening with American football and like a bunch of indie bands are playing a concert in Minecraft and like streaming it. I don't know what that means, but
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I don't know how that's going to work.
And like, yeah, I think this could be a whole long conversation about it, but it's totally going to change. Like, do we have to be like traveling around to like all these like random ass cities and long drives in like December when it's like sketchy, or like could you break up a touring year between like finding creative ways to like do things remotely or like from home or whatever your situation is as a band, and then do the odd like 2 weeks here, a week there? Because it also, like, I was thinking about it, bands that tour like to tour, you know what I mean, that might not necessarily love it, as well as like people that just get burned out super easy. Like if this becomes the norm, like the streaming thing or whatever people are doing, that might be like a way for those people to legitimize like not going on the road, if they can still have an audience online.
That's exactly like what I was thinking. And I asked Joe that question. I was like, how do you think this is going to, or I wonder what the long-term effects of this are going to be? Because there's so many people, like I'm, I guess, an online content focused person, obviously, because I've been making tons of YouTube videos during this time. But like, I don't care what, people think. And when I started, I did a little bit, but then I've made enough videos that it doesn't bother me what people think. Or at least, specifically my peers. Yeah. So I'm wondering if this time period is giving people that might have that mentality, because as silly as it sounds, 100%. I feel like that's super common. Like I would say people are more likely 100%. To be afraid to make content because they're afraid of what people are going to say. I wonder if that's
too, right? Like it's that's for some reason, like out of the arts, I don't know what the acting world is like, but like I would assume they'd be more open-minded to the YouTube world or like the vlog world or the stream world or whatever. Yeah. Whereas there's always such a resilience with musicians who it's like, oh, you're a vlogger, or like you make YouTube videos, or you're doing a live stream. Oh, that's so corny. And now it's like, hey guys, like this is what happens when you don't want to get with the curve. And
exactly.
Because it's so fun, especially like a band like Nothing, let's say, who has that like cool guy cloud over their head forever and always, to be doing like a live stream acoustic singer-songwriter thing is hilarious. Because if you would have brought that up, I feel like to a band like that even a year ago, they'd be like, that's what All Time Low does on their Instagram, like it's like that separation. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what long-term effects it has. But okay, let's change the topic here, because I feel like anybody that's watching this, they've been living in this.
I'm sick of talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, we started a new YouTube series on this channel, and we got a new star, and that's Mr. Logan Brown.
Yeah.
How are you reacting to the fame? How are you dealing with it, Logan?
Well, luckily, like, I can't go outside, so I don't have like fans following me around or anything. But I do get paparazzi coming out to my house sometimes. But
think about how much longer that line would look too, with all the space between everyone. It'll go for miles, man.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Before we posted that video, I think I probably watched it like at least 20 to 30 times.
Yeah.
In bed next to my girlfriend, to the point where I could like memorize everything.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys have this
memorized by the end?
Did any of you guys have this experience where you showed it to someone? Like, because to me, it's like hilarious. But I'm obviously like, I've been friends with Logan forever, so I don't know. I find it funny on a different level. Yeah. Did any of you guys have the experience of showing it to someone, like expecting them to find it hilarious, and then they didn't?
No, but that's because I don't think I shared it with anyone in the house.
Yeah. I think probably everyone that watched it at home had that experience with themselves.
I didn't want to be like, hey mom, look at this video of Logan.
There's some stuff that's like undeniably like just like quick witty humor that's funny. Like the ghost thing and the guy asking about like where to meet single women. Like anyone's gonna laugh at that. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's just like other things that are like such Loganisms that only we know.
Nope.
Yeah, or just funny. Like, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I was laughing at, I thought like no one else is going to get. I think even when Corey was editing the video, I was like saying to him like, "Oh my god, that Coldplay part where he's just like Coldplay." Thanks. Like to me, that's hilarious. Everyone else would be like, "Oh, cool, yeah, he appreciates it."
Yeah. Logan and I filmed that. whenever we filmed it, and then we first of all, we kind of forced Logan into doing this. Not forced him, but we're doing this.
Yeah, I was not part of the conversation.
Yeah. No.
So he came over, and you can definitely tell if you watch the start of the video versus the end. At the start, he's a lot more nervous than he is at the end. But anyways, after we filmed it, we we started editing it, and Logan and I were dying laughing the entire time. We were editing it. I don't think I've laughed that hard in years.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brad, obviously everyone in the world's been playing Animal Crossing. I haven't. I have no idea what the purpose of that game is. All I know is you can design things.
It is, outside of this, I got to show you guys the carpets that I designed last night because they're nice.
Carpets?
Fans can't see those.
Good.
Nice Persian rugs. You get dropped off on an island, I guess. I never played the original Animal Crossings on DS or whatever they're on. So this is my first introduction to it. But you just get sent to an island, or you sign up to go live on this remote place, and you and 3 other creatures, depending on what island you get sent to. Basically, you and the guy who runs it, who's a little tanuki, you just build up a town from the ground up. But it's in real time, which is really interesting because it for kids, I feel it's a parent's dream because they can't just become a slave to the game for hours on end, because at a certain point, if you've done everything by 8 o'clock at night, and the town is kind of going to sleep, none of the animals and critters are running around and stuff like that for you to collect, you got to put the game away, or you just got to be mindful of okay, I'm going to play for an hour here, I'm going to wait till it's a little later in the afternoon and new animals are coming out and there's new fish in the water and whatever. But
damn,
it's cool. Yeah,
that sounds annoying.
It's it's a good way to take up a lot of your time.
That's true. Yeah, it sounds like chore simulator kind of.
It kind of. I saw a tweet saying lawn work simulator or something like that, and it's pretty much right now at this point in the game what a lot of it is, because I think where I'm at, there's only one other building and then your houses. And there's 4 of us, so there's 4 houses and a tent where the boss or leader and his kids live, and then there's a museum that we helped build. But other than that, there's a lot of running around and shaking trees and trying to not get stung by it. It's it's Farmville. Yeah, it's Farmville for 2020. I don't know.
Has anybody played Farmville here?
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I know what it is, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, but you know what the concept is.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess so. Cool. Is there do you beat it, or is it just something you play?
I think it's literally ongoing. Right now, because Easter's coming up this weekend, there's a bunch of Easter themed things, and they're all going to disappear after Sunday. So I think it just updates as it goes along, and you just keep expanding it.
Everybody hates those Easter things.
Oh yeah, they're so big now. Yeah, not cool.
Damn.
And can you go to other people's islands? If I have an island, do you?
You can. You got to. So there's a currency, and then there's also these rewards points. Think of them as air miles that you get for doing separate things. So if I collect a bunch of trash, I could bring it to sell to the guy, and let's say he gives me a bunch of money. But at the same time, I could have earned points for oh, you're you tidied up the island, aside from getting it to sell money or make money. It's you did a good deed for the place. Here's some rewards points. So if you save up enough, you can hop on a plane and fly to whatever's nearby. I think there's online play as well, but I don't have a Nintendo account. That's why, Trav, I was asking if you had it, because I was oh, yo.
Yeah. I don't know. Didn't want to spend $80 on it. So
yeah.
If it was cheaper, I probably would have got it, but
it'll go on sale at some point.
Yeah. Eventually.
What games have you been playing, Travis?
I don't know. I beat all of the games I had. Before this whole thing went into lockdown, I was oh, great. I just beat Zelda, which is a 200-hour game and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been playing Borderlands 2 a lot because that was the free game for PS4. and it's really funny. Actually, I've been like putting a good amount of time into it.
What's your basement like right now? For context, again, basement flooded like when we came back from the home safe run.
Yeah, the day before we got back.
So everything was pooched.
Yeah, we had to like get all the flooring torn up, and like the walls had to be taken out, and we found a little bit of mold, so we had to take out like all the studs and stuff. Nice. So we got people who came in. Like I was doing most of the demolition and stuff just because save money and there's nothing else to do anyway. Yeah. So we were doing that a lot of days, and like we had rented one of those giant garbage dump bins and filled it, like completely filled it. And since then, it's just been like waiting for people to be okay to like go work so we can hire some people to come do the renovation.
Yeah.
So either renovating or playing Borderlands or Overwatch, but that's it.
But true. This is like sorry, Corey, if you had another topic to change up.
Go ahead.
But it's funny. I was talking to Sam Guyana a couple days ago, just about how like Pacific's like going to do our next record, because he's obviously had like a bunch of bands like you like change of plans. They can't make it across the border. I think he was supposed to track or like do a record for Between You and Me, and like they were stuck with bearings in Ottawa for like 2 weeks self-quarantining, and then they were like, "Hey, if we don't go back to Australia now, like we're not gonna be able to go back to Australia." So they left and canceled their record. So Sam was like, "Yo, like, can we find a sooner date to do it?" And the rest of us are like, "Dude, I don't think that's like the best idea. Let's try to brainstorm something else." So we're gonna try to like, we're gonna have like writing sessions doing pre-pro for the record, like on video call like this. And then from there, depending on like what the state of the world is like whether we can have 2 people in the studio or it's just not safe for anyone to be getting together, depending how like crazy things get. Sam was like, what if we video conference and like just track everything DI remotely? And then he's like, I'll try my best to like just chop. Like that's how crazy it's all getting.
Jeez.
When was that scheduled for? Like originally?
Supposed to be, I think 2nd week of May. We were supposed to go in 3rd week of May, and he was like, "Oh, what about May 1st?" I'm like, "I don't know, man." So his whole thing is like staying on schedule, whereas I'm like, okay, well, if we have to delay things, like the rest of the world gets bumped forward as well. So it's not like we're behind where anyone else would be.
I know.
Just like
he was supposed to, or he's going to mix. He's going to excuse me. He's going to mix like a project that I'm working on, and I was talking to that band's manager, who's also like a tandem manager, so works directly with Sam, and apparently his schedule is like nuts. So I can like totally understand that. Like, it's like
it's funny. I said to him like, from what I've heard, I've never worked with Sam. I've just like known him forever.
Yeah,
I was like, from what I've heard, you are a waste no time. If the take was like, like whatever, that's good enough. He'll do what he has to do. So when I was talking to him separately, I was like, so like, what's the worst case scenario? Like, is it a thing where if we don't want to keep pushing it forward into the future, we like find a way to do this remotely? And he's like, yeah, like if it comes to it, whatever. Like if it means he has to spend an extra like week and a bit, like sitting on the computer, stitching things together, so it's up to stuff, as opposed to waiting like 6 months to then do it and then miss out on a bunch of work. Is that something that you would ever consider doing, or not recommend or consider doing, depending on like the scale of the project?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the individuals that you're working with. So like if I think the person is capable of doing it, then I would definitely consider it. And if I were to go down that route, I would just like set some like very strict, not strict, but like give some really good guidance to make sure that
totally
like guitars are not out of tune, that the takes are as clean as they can be, and just like stuff like that. Stuff that I know would limit the overall quality of a production or make my life an absolute nightmare trying to stick together. But
it's funny, I was saying to him too, or like another idea he brought up, if it doesn't get to that point, was like, okay, what if we have one person just track, like drums aside, like guitars, bass, so one person track everything. And then where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So like one person track everything, which means like someone that can consistently play other people's parts if Luke's writing a part or if Greg's writing a part, and like one person has to learn them like better than the person that wrote them can perform them. As well as like that means it's just one person like technically like sitting down making the record with the producer. Do you think that that's like, I don't know what your situation is when you work with a lot of bands, but do you think it's weird to like have that one person and the producer and then like everyone else is kind of separated until things are tracked and then?
No, not necessarily. Again, I think it comes down to the individuals. Like, for example, if in this case it was you and Sam, like I would have faith in that because like you both have experienced musical ears. So, and like, you know what it takes to make a good song, and you've recorded enough guitar that recording a DI guitar and bass isn't going to like, it's not anything you can't handle. So as long as I think the only way it would work is if like the person that's doing a lot of the songwriting is that person. Yeah. As well as if that, it only works if the person that's doing a lot of the songwriting is doing it and they can play the parts like well. Yeah. It's definitely unconventional, but if the goal is to get it done in a timely fashion, what it is.
What do you have on the go that you can talk about? I don't know if you have.
Yeah, well, my schedule is like everything just is up in the air, like pushed back up in the air. Originally, the one project I was supposed to be recording this entire month got pushed to May, but like that's not going to happen. Yeah. So I've just been filling my time. Recently, I did like a Skype session helping someone with their mix. Cool. Like they sent me the project and then I just like streamed it to them and I was like, do this, do that. I've been making a million YouTube videos. I've been demoing some stuff. And
that picture.
Yeah. I've been experimenting with my thumbnails.
Yeah.
Oh! No, it's been that's been good though. I've made the goal of trying to do a video like once every 2 days.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done, but the longest it's been is one every 3 days, which is still good.
Yeah.
So
sweet.
I'm just like taking this whole thing in stride and using this experience to like grow the YouTube channel, and the numbers are looking good,
Yeah, man.
Got the most amount of money I've made in a month coming in, so
nice.
Coffee's on me, boys.
Rolling in it.
Yeah, you know me. I can't. I need to do something productive, or else.
Yeah, no, totally.
I don't know what I'll do. So
it's just explode.
Yeah.
I'm honestly glad we have like on the Locket end, like the like Pacific stuff aside, like stuff that we can and like should be working on musically or whatever to release in the next couple months, because I have no idea what I would be doing just like having to sit here. Not that like Uxbridge is super secluded by any means, but like everything is closed except for the grocery store and like Shoppers Drug Mart, like the pharmacy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not even walking distance. It's like walking distance if you want to like trek for an hour to wait in line for 2 hours to like get some apples and like do it all over again.
Hey, Logan would do that for apples.
Yeah, this guy can't get enough of them.
Yeah, that's the only reason I leave the house. Get some apples.
I went to go grocery shopping today, and I drove past 3 grocery stores, and the lines were like insane. And then I realized today's Saturday.
Oh yeah, and it's Easter.
It's Easter weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm eating rice for the next couple of days.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Dude, you upgraded the
Thanks, buddy.
Hey,
nice.
Got that YouTube money, like you said.
Yeah. I'm going to have to make a video every day to afford this, but
worth it.
Yeah.
Talk to the boys.
Okay, so the last thing that I think we should touch on, by the way, for anybody watching this that's gotten this far into this is like we're winging this big time.
Yeah.
This is kind of like a proof of concept to make sure that we can do this, and honestly, this works pretty well.
Yeah.
We'd like to have guests on from other bands or other people that do cool, interesting stuff. And we have a couple people lined up, which I think will be cool. But if you have any suggestions of people you'd want to see any of us talk with or talk to, feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. That's that. Hopefully this stuff gets better soon and people stop dying.
Yeah. Imagine all the people, dude.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know.
We sing a song that'll inspire a nation.
Yes.
God.
Okay, so
right.
we're gonna end this here.
Cool.
Episode 4, proof of concept. We'll be doing this again in a week. Tell us who you want us to see on the next one. Make sure to listen to Locket, look at the description, and click all the links. And that's it. The end.
Yeah.
Sick.